So Stark, who's been so good, one of his finest performances for Australia. 5 for 64, 7 in the match. He's bowled some tough spells from the football stand end. Can he dig deep one last time? Can he knock over Wood and give them a little bit of hope? Ty still in the frame as well, dare I say it. Men all back for the short ball. Stark round the wicket, delivers to Wood, full and driven for 4. Out through the covers, off balance, inside out to the Western Terrace. Mark Wood, what a cricketer he is. Test cricket is better for Mark Wood. He's on 12, 7 for 244, 7 to go.
Unfortunately, half volley, because he has opened up for the short ball. He's actually in a really good position to play a back foot cover drive. So the length, what he wanted, bit of class as he hit the ball too. He just caressed it through the covers for 4. Wow, good batting. He has dominated this test match.
6 back for the short ball. Stark round the wicket, way too high. That'll be a wide, I reckon. It's so short. It should be a wide, truth told. He's going to get away with it, Flem.
Second innings at Lords.
It will be called wide.
It's a wide.
It is a wide.
Yeah.
Confirming with the square leg umpire, Nitin Menon. 6 to win and Wood on strike and the short ball coming. Game on.
It's a double wide. If he's going to go the short ball, I'd actually prefer it from over the wicket where you've got a bit of angle across.
Yeah, he's got to fetch it then, doesn't he?
It's amazing. Australia just had no plan for Wood's batting.
All eyes on Mitchell Stark. Away from the football stand. Into Wood, round the wicket, bangs it in, gets taken out to the offside. Just back of a length, really. He'll come back for 2. The Western Terrace were calling it for them. 2. Todd Murphy does the fielding. They get a couple. Wood 14 from 6. 4 to win, 7 for 247.
This is quite remarkable, isn't it? He's been brilliant with the ball, but Andrew, I think it's 38 or 14 deliveries for the test match.
That's right. He turned that first innings, didn't he, really?
Yep.
He was the catalyst for it.
Partnership of 17 from 10 balls. Australia now need a miracle.
Over
Change
the wicket,
it, yeah.
I like it. It's got to be nose or toes, hasn't it? He's got to get the Yorker right or an excellent bouncer. And, well, might go for 6, but they need the wicket now.
Over the wicket, the gully comes in. Stark here, bowls to Wood, bangs it in, top edge, hanging in the air. Carey back with the flight. Boland as well, they drop it.
It was Boland's
It was
catch.
Boland's catch every day of the week. Carey committed to it and sprinted back with the flight, right beneath our commentary position. Boland a little bit timid, saw Carey coming, understandably came to a halt, but the ball landed no more than 15 yards from bowling starting position. It wasn't the keeper's catch. It's 2 to win.
Boland
3 to win.
Could have just jogged into that one. It's very loud here, so Alex Carey, and we know Scott Boland is actually a soft-spoken man. He needed to roar, mine.
Or just put your hand up so Carey could see it.
I don't know if Kerry Whedon would have seen it, would he?
Looking at the ball.
He had to scream mine. That was a massive opportunity for Australia.
Might be their last hope. Not even sure he touched it. Back to Wokes. He deserves to finish it. 3 to win. Big gap through the covers. Stark over the wicket to Wokes here on loft stump. Defended. Just placed behind point with a minimum of fuss. The calm you expect from a veteran. Wokes to 28. 2 to win. 7 for 249. Back to Mark Wood. 2 balls to come.
The chances of him finishing it with a 6, it just wouldn't surprise me with the match that he's gone. Just one little moment at the end there. I mean, Carey just sprinted as hard as he could. But that was an opportunity, caught 5 to win, Broad coming in. Not to be.
Can he win the test match here? Stark's got 2 balls, 2 runs to win. Makes room out to the offside. They get 1. Scores a level. England cannot lose the test match. 7 for 250. Chris Wokes gets the strike back with 1 ball left in Stark's set.
And Wokes has done such a fantastic job. He's had a very good test match as well with the ball, particularly last night. Handy partnership with Cook today. If he'd been knocked over early, exposed the English tail earlier.
Yep, 3 wickets in the first innings as well.
So 1 to win, the scores are level. Stark just being held by umpire Dharmasena. Still got the fly slip, men back for the most part for the top edge, but a number are in as well. Stark to finish the over. England, 1 to keep themselves in the series. And out through point it goes for 4. What a mighty celebration from Mark Wood and Chris Wokes. When Wokes walked in, they needed 80 to win. The head had been cut off the stake with Stokes and Bairstow in quick succession. But what a shrewd selection it was, bringing Wokes back into this side. 32 not out. He will be the champion for England here, along with Harry Brook. They win by 3 wickets, and the Ashes are well and truly alive. 2-1 at Headingley. And both in 2019 and in 2023, they've been come-from-behind efforts. They were all but gone at 7 for 142 at lunch on day 2. But through the work of Mark Wood, 5 for on day 1. An explosive innings when all looked lost. And out there at the end as well, a gutsy win, a come-from-behind win, a famous win. England by 3 wickets.
Yeah, amazing. And just some unbelievable individual test matches. A lot of players didn't really contribute. There was only 4 scores over 50, 1 an innings. There was 3 fifers. Wokes had a very good all-round game, but for the Ashes, this is amazing. Listening to this crowd roar throughout the 4 days that we've had. England, probably the best pitch that we've seen in the series. England found a way when they were behind, and really it was at lunch. And Mark Wood really took control with the bat. From there, the momentum really was England's way. Besides Travis Head really keeping Australia in with a remarkable innings and a tough chase. I know they've chased bigger totals quicker under Bazball, but that was always going to be a tight one, and they've got home.
And Jeremy Coney, Chris Wokes smiled all the way off the pitch. He's known as being one of the nicest men in the game.
Yeah, he
might have thought his test career was finished when Bazball came along. He's not by definition a Bazballer, but 6 wickets swinging it around corners, 32 not out here in the cauldron that is Headingley towards the end. What an individual performance.
Yeah, he's certainly proved his position dramatically, hasn't he? He played an important part in the bowling attack. Now he's actually shown also with the bat he can do it. And the whole of the Western Terrace, sort of, if they were a person, every molecule in their body vibrating. You know, it's just an extraordinary atmosphere at the moment, and this series is now revitalised. It's a gift that keeps on giving, this series.
Beautifully put. The fact that we go to Old Trafford, Flem, I know you won't be with us, sadly. You're going back to Australia before the 4th test, but this series, this carnival, moves across the Pennines to Manchester in a couple of weeks. The amount of attention on that test match will rival anything from 2005.
Well, I think it's been so significant, days out from the first test match, and it hasn't decreased. An Australian win in a close game, would have obviously decreased the interest a bit, but, you would have said, geez, it's been a close series. It could have gone either way, but 2-1, already I just feel the last 2 will be close, and this will rival 2005 in hindsight for the competitiveness between the 2 teams, the public interest, and just an amazing series to call on the radio.
England left that first test match, they will have left that thinking, by crikey, that was our test. Well, they've gone 2 down. They've won a very close match here, really. It could have gone either way. And look, we've got something to look forward to at Manchester now, haven't we? I mean, everyone will be looking forward to that.
Australia had the chance today, straight after lunch, getting Stokes and Bairstow, 80 runs to win from there. It was the partnership with 59 from 73 balls between Harry Brook, who made 75, and the aforementioned Wokes, 32 not out. coming of age for Harry Brook, his best Test innings, there with the experience of Wokes. What a performance from those two when it did look like Australia were going to roll through them.
Yeah, Brook should get a lot out of this. I mean, traditionally, if you look at 75 off 93 deliveries, you go, geez, what a display of stroke play. But that's a slow innings for Brook. But it's also shown that he can do it. I thought he was smart the way he took the singles that were available to him, and he backed Wokes later on. Bad balls, particularly cover drives, were put away. I don't think the Australians bowled short enough to him where he looked uncomfortable at Lords. But you can only deal with what's dished up, and that's a match-winning innings as much as Travis Head's could have been for Australia yesterday. And Wokes, as you said, he probably didn't fit into their plans, earlier on. But, he's a smart cricketer, particularly in England, a shrewd cricketer. And Mark Wood, he's the X factor we thought he would be for England, and he's got a week off now. So he can bowl fast, he can hit long, but Australia really needs some plans to the tail end of England. And then today I was surprised that we didn't see the bounce-a-thon for half an hour at stages.
Earlier, while they still had gas in their legs.
And if Murphy was a chance to bowl today, he needed to do it earlier to see whether he could be a factor.
And I think Labuschagne and Smith has got to be a slight concern for the Australians. I mean, they came here with a lot of, performance behind them, and yet when you look at it, you've got Smith averaging 31. You've got Labuschagne and Warner averaging 24. Now, and to lose Lyon as well. I mean, England must feel that's a heck of a good sort of start in the whole thing from there, from right of those three things. So, look, it's all to play for. I think perhaps Aussie have got a few things to think about. Do they include Boland in the next Test match? I mean, have they got enough bowling? I see they sent Neza back to his county. So I'm not sure exactly what they're thinking.
I mean, Hazelwood's a big in.
Yeah, of course he'll be in.
They've missed him in this Test match.
Yeah.
They can get him back. They missed Nathan Lyon, but they're not getting him back.
No.
And they probably haven't found out enough about Todd Murphy's playing. But we didn't get a lot of overs into him. If you'd said at the start, with Marnus and Smithy averaging then, I would have thought we were 3-0 down. So the Khawaja getting runs in England, Travis Head proving what a match winner he can be, Mitchell Marsh's 100 has given us a chance there. But structurally, there's some real questions for Australia.
Yeah, Mitch Marshall, Cameron Green, and those sorts of issues as well, I think will rear their head in between.
What a great Test match. Australia 263 and 224. England 237 and 254 for 7, winning by 3 wickets. Lads, we're going to take a beat. We're going to take a break. On the other side of it, we'll have the presentation. We'll be hearing from the captains and the player of the match. Our coverage is for Macca's, the barbecue bacon Angus at Macca's. England victorious at Headingley by 3 wickets.